Shalom, back to part 4. All right, vocab, Matthew 25. Let's continue reading here where we left off, Jeremiah 33 and 26. Then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham. See that? You understand that? Over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. So who's the Lord going to have mercy on? The nation of Israel, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which really are the descendants of Jacob, people. You have to remember that Abraham had 8 sons. Out of the 8 sons, he chose Isaac, his second born. That's where the promise went to, that Isaac had 2 sons. You understand? His firstborn was Ishmael. But he's not part of the promises. Do you understand that? The promises, right? Isaac had 2 sons, Esau, then Jacob. The promises did not go to Esau. Okay? And again, that's scriptural, people. Give me a minute. Genesis 27:37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord. Who? His brother Jacob. All right? I have made him thy Lord, and all of his brethren have I given to him for servant. All right? Do you understand that? And with corn and wine I have sustained him, and what shall I do now for you, thee my son? Okay? So then he proceeded to give him his blessing, which would be with the sword, that he would get everything through the sword, through bloodshed, through wars, the stealing of lands, wealth, resources. He would get it unrighteously. While the promises of the kingdom to be the immortal God, kings, and priests of the earth, to be rulers over all the nations, at the end of time would be for Jacob and Jacob's descendants. Do you understand, people? Okay? See, he has to bow down to us. Okay? Here's our blessing, the blessing to Jacob. All right? Therefore, God give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Verse 29, let the people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Down to who? Unto the descendants of Jacob, you Israelites, you Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, to be Lord over the brethren. Okay? And let thy mother's sons, we know they only had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. And remember, it tells you in Genesis, the 25th chapter, as well as other places in the scriptures, the elder shall serve the younger. Okay? And Esau came out first. He's the elder. He has to serve the younger. Do you understand? So let the people serve thee and the nations bow down to thee. So you see, we're going to be over the nations. That's our inheritance. But this guy doesn't want to hear that. He's not feeling, it's all right for him to do what they've done to the Israelites throughout the centuries and think that there's no judgment coming. That's what we're reading in Matthew's the 25th chapter there. It's the judgment, right? Is the judgment. The goats are on the left, all right? And the sheep are on the right. And the sheep inherit the kingdom. It's not the other nations. It's not Esau and the other nations. And obviously these scriptures have proven it over and over again. Give me a minute. This is Revelation, the 7th chapter. See what it says there? 144,000, right? So these are among the sheep, right? 144,000. Let's read it, right? And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Hello. Well, Vocab's trying to tell you that, these, you'll read it. He's trying to tell you like what you read down here. And we're going to get to this. In verse 9, and after this I beheld, lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, kindred, people, and tongue, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, palms in their hand. So he'll try to tell you, just like he tells you about Matthew's the 25th chapter, what we were reading, the judgment, he'll try to tell you the same thing about this, all right? That he's talking about all the nations coming into the inheritance of the Israelite. And just like this here, this will prove to you that it's not true, because you can go into the word kindred here, and that'll tell you, because the Israelites are the ones scattered into all nations. Everybody knows that. It's all over the scriptures. Right? So we go into the word kindred here. Foulé.
Strong's G 5443. Foulé. Foulé.
You see what it says here? In the New Testament, all persons ascending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarchs of Jacob. Hello, who are scattered into all nations, people. Right? Yes? Dispersion, right? Diaspora, the scattering. All right? You see, the scriptures cut him up. All right? So this great multitude, which no man can number, of all nation, kindred, people, and tongue, are Israelites. Descendant of one of the 12 sons of Jacob. All right? And then you see what it proceeds to do here, right? Okay? As we were reading, right? So again, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And then it goes and it breaks it down for you. Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. You get it? All right? Give me a minute. Now we're in Hebrews 8, and we're going to read about the new covenant, right? And it's going to mention even about the old covenant. It's with the same people. There's no mention of, Gentiles coming into it, right? Other than the fact is, when you're reading, when you go into the word ethnos, it has two meanings for Gentiles, all right? It could be talking about the other nations, or it could be talking about Israelites that were in a Gentile state of mind. We've done many lessons on that. All right? Israelites in a Gentile state of mind. Anyway, for finding fault with them, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant, right? Outside of the first, because the first one, that's done away with, right? I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, that's the northern kingdom, and with the house of Judah, the southern kingdom. See, there's no mention of heathens coming into the inheritance, all right? Into the second covenant. Just like they weren't in the first, people. Not according to the covenant I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. So you see that, people? They're not in. You can also read this in the Old Testament, Jeremiah 31:31. The Bible's repetitive. Hopefully you all were edified. I'm out. I'm on to the next one. There's so many other precepts you can go to that simply cut them up. All right? Shalom.